Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. Yes, I know it's a little bit of a different point of view. I am not at my normal chair. I don't have the normal VR virtual reality background behind me. I'm not in the Poconos. I'm actually in New Jersey. We're in New Jersey. Rach and I, we went to a comedy show tonight, and I figured I didn't want to be driving back to New York late at night, possibly after having a few drinks. Better off that we find ourselves a nice hotel, which we did, and we are at the hotel. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna get a video in today, but since I don't miss videos, I figured I'd get a video in. And I know you're all dying for it. I know you expected a live stream tonight. I had to tell Glenn that we weren't going to be able to do a live stream because I wasn't going to be around to do it. The comedy show was actually 8 o'clock, so and it's like 10:20 now. So, what am I going to touch on? Well, we saw four comedians. Each one was different than the other, and each one used different techniques than the other. Okay, that's something that I think is important too, like when it comes to your DMing. every DM has their own strengths, every DM has their own weaknesses. So you have one comedian who's pretty much a dry stick comedian. Don't interrupt him because he's gonna lose his place in his in-head script, and you can't do that because you're gonna fuck things up. You have somebody else who's just a really good, honestly, run-of-the-mill comedian, but not top name, but somebody who can definitely work a crowd, has funny jokes, can tell a story, but is also good at the timing because he has to know when he has to get off, right? Then you have two pretty much headlining comedians, both totally different, and the one that's technically a larger name, I don't. My personal feeling is, yeah, they're a larger name, but I believe the one that was right before them actually did a better show because they were better equipped at handling crowds. You could tell somebody who hasn't been working stand up for a while who stepped away from it, right? You can tell when somebody stepped away from DMing for a while. I know what people say, running a game is like riding a bike, you never forget. There's some truth to that, but note I'm saying some truth. It's not a universal truth. Okay, when my son Chris was learning how to ride a bike as a teen, and then I bought a bike to go riding my bikes with him in the park, and guess what? It certainly came back to me, but it wasn't as smooth as it would be for somebody who's been riding bikes for 30, 40 years. If you've been regularly running games for decades, you're going to be running even somebody who's quote one of the skilled old timers. They've stepped away for a number of years. They come back. Guess what? Sure, they're riding a bike. They have the skill set. They're out of practice, and it showed. Okay, and I'm not saying it was a great show. I had a lot of good laughs, I had a lot of good times, but you can see the difference in the skill sets. Just like, listen, I've stepped away from DMing, right? My last session I ran, let alone played in, was at ShireCon in September. Right? And then you probably got to go back a bit before. I used to run games every week, once a week. When I was in college, I was running games multiple times a week sometimes. GMing is like any other skill set. It will atrophy if you don't use it. No matter how good you are at it, how much of a natural you are, you've got to keep it moving. So I need to get back into something. That's what I'm saying, basically. Now, part of that, in my case, is time constraints, right? Like going away for this night and going to see this comedy show, I had to cancel a weekly live stream. We got weekly live streams Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays. I have Discord Hangout on Thursdays. Only leaves me 3 days, 3 evenings really, where I can run games. So I've got to fit that into my schedule. And I was going to, then Again, life happened. But guess what? I'm learning that life always happens. And if you let life happening slow you down, if you let it keep you from doing not just what you want to do, but what you probably need to do, then it isn't life happening. It's life stopping. So, New Year's resolution was beginning of December 2023. Back in the saddle. Running games, probably using the continual light rules. Yes, Jeff. When I get home in the morning, I'll get this stuff out to you. But we'll be using continual light. I like the system. But that being said, I may steal stuff. What I'd love to do is hack some of Jeff Talanian's classes from Hyperborea and slide them into continual light, which is going to take a lot of hacking because they're going to go from robust to a shtick. But we'll see. We'll see what I can do with that. Other than that, listen, we have OSR Christmas coming up. If you are somebody who wants to participate as a donor, whether you're a publisher, a creator, just a fan, reach out to me at 10cars.tavern@gmail.com. Let me know what you want to do, what you have to put into the gifting pot. The gifts are going to be given out multiple ways these days. Obviously on the blog, 10carstavern.com. Obviously on this channel, 10 Cars Tavern. Obviously, can't forget it, right? The Substack, 10carstavern.substack.com. So there'll be different ways to get into the mix of receiving gifts. Not sure when we're going to kick it off just yet. Time's coming up. I'm not sure if we might just have certain days. I know it says 12 days of OSR Christmas, but it drives me nuts. All right, folks, but that's coming up. If you want to participate as a gifter, think about it. I can always use you. Otherwise, the usual. We're in the midst of the endemic, right? Use your common sense. Be safe. Be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I will be back again tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Myself and Rach will be doing Gamer's Health. It's been an interesting week when it comes to our health, what we picked up on Black Friday. Hint, treadmill. And we'll give you updates on all that stuff. Should be fun. Join us. We always enjoy the company. All right, folks. On that note, I'm out of here.